Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Doys and welcome back to Stoneblock 2. In the last episode, we kind of stopped doing what we were doing in the machine room to come over here and make a mob farm. And, well, we have one. It works pretty well. It's off right now because, well, it is. And I've started moving stuff into drawers over here. I've got a Ender.io item conduit going through the floor over here to the drawer controller, and yeah, this is our mob farm. Eventually we'll probably hook this guy up to our applied energistic machine. We have a sound muffler to make sure it's nice and quiet over here, and if we turn this on for like a second, this chest will pretty much fill up. We need to solve some problems though. One problem that we need to do is there is experience orbs over here that we need to kind of deal with. And oh, of course I did. That might be a little bit harder than it seems. The general thing for today though is we're gonna do some kind of minor projects around the base. We're gonna finish some things off, finish some things up, and I also want to work on making a better power source for our machine room. Now, I haven't done too much over here. I did set up a bunch of drawers. We've been working on sifting some stuff, and I need to get things moved and all that kind of fun stuff. I've been kind of putting it off. But first things first, I broke my axe, and we need to make a new axe. So that's going to be what we do. So we're going to just make a hatchet, axe head pattern. We're going to use just wood for most of this, and then we're going to go over here, put the part builder, we're going to make out a stone, and yeah, that's pretty much it. We just need to make the hatchet. Been a while coming. We'll make better tools later. We'll make really good tools later, but I don't really care right now. I just want something that breaks things that I can repair easily and is halfway decent. So with that out of the way, let's try to deal with a couple of things over in the mob farm. So the first thing is we need to get the Monolith of Experience, and this thing will absorb all experience orbs in the same chunk. You only have one type of monolith in the same chunk, so I think we're gonna have to have two of these. Not that big of a deal, but we are going to need some bottles of enchanting, and that's something I'm not entirely sure if we have access to, if we're going to be able to make. I'm sure there's some ways we can work with this, but for right now, let's go ahead and make the carved pearl block. So it doesn't matter what kind of pearl block we have. It's just a piece of endstone with some of the shulker pearls, which we've been sifting for. We get them from Ender Gravel, aka Endstone, and pretty easy. They're not used for too much. There is some of these monolith things. What's the monolith of spawning? I didn't actually look at this. Increases the amount of natural mob spawn. Okay, so that's kind of cool, but also not particularly important. So at this point, the only thing we need is 2 bottles of enchanting. Experience droplets come from that. Okay. Experience chunks. Fluid transposing. Can we get a fluid tank? Iron. That might be the best way to go about, because we don't have any of the other stuff. Yeah, I think that's going to be the best way, is let's make the fluid tank, and then we can get some experience pretty easily. So fluid tank is just some glass, some iron, and some iron bars. Let's make the iron bars. And then if we go get a piece of glass, we should be able to make a fluid tank pretty easily. Now, fluid tanks are just another form of storing fluids. It's Ender.io's solution. They're pretty good at times. That's the wrong thing. They're pretty good at times just because they do allow for input-output. It will automatically push the fluid in and out of wherever you want. which is always good. But if we put that in the corner, and let's see, we need to get some liquid XP, and we can get that from just putting in some solidified experience, which I have a ton of because of our mob farm. So all I have to do is come down here and grab some of this stuff, and we should be able to make the experience things. And we'll never have to worry about levels ever with this machine, pretty much. So we can put those in there. We need 2 glass bottles. And cool. The only other thing is it does kind of keep the experience. What is this? Looks like it can take a bunch of different types. Okay, whatever. Let's make 2 of these monoliths. And that will be that. So unfortunately we do have to make 2 because there is multiple chunks. I accidentally made this on a chunk border. That's what F9 shows us. And yeah, we'll just put them in the corners. And that doesn't have any experience, but this one should if I turn that on. How do these work? One type of monolith in each. It's collecting, I think. Right click tells you how much. Right clicking with a bottle will consume. Sneak will give you the XP directly. So they are both getting experience. Obviously this one is getting more because it's more centered on the actual spinning blade, but we need both of them or else we'd still have experience in there, and I don't want that because that can be laggy. So the next thing to do is cry because our solidified experience is already full. We have a bunch of things we need to get rid of. We'll worry about that later, to be perfectly honest, but we need to get things moving faster, and so we're going to want to make some extract speed upgrades in the relative near future. But for now, what I want to work on is applying logistics a little bit. So with this, I want to teach the system how to make ME interfaces, and we're going to make a couple of. We're going to make a singular. Let's see, what can we? Let's just grab that. We're going to make a singular pattern, and we're going to put that in there, and then we are going to be able to craft up ME interfaces. And let's see, we need the Annihilation Core and the Formation Core, which both of those we need to teach the system how to make. So Annihilation Core, Formation Core, both pretty easy. We need 2 more of these, which means we need more stuff. We need to upgrade the applied energistic system pretty badly because it is very important to have this thing up and running. Unfortunately, it looks like in order to get the dust, Sturgis Quartz dust, is there a way to get that? No, we have to crush it. Okay. That's fine. So we need to crush a little bit of this. And that's not like that big of a deal. It's just gonna take a second. We also need to grab some glass. And yeah, we need to make more stuff. Now, all in all, this isn't too bad. Do we have any other crushers? No, of course not. So this is the best we got. So all in all, it's not too bad. We just gotta kind of get things working. And what I'm wanting to do is I need to make interfaces so that I can teach the system how to make the processors so that we can automatically make those. And that's kind of the important thing. So for the most part, it's pretty much just mindless, like auto crafting. Nothing too detailed. Does that require? No, it's just any Certus quartz. So we're gonna just use normal Certus quartz for that. I don't know why it doesn't like me right-clicking. Can we make 5 of these? No. Can we make 2 of them now? We can make 2 of them. So we can at least make the cores. And then the Annihilation Core. Please use quartz. And then these can come down here and be placed in here. So now if we tell it to make this, it just doesn't know how to make the logic processors or the fluix dust, which I'll have to supply a lot of this by hand. But I guess there's 3. We're gonna need more glass. We're gonna need a little bit more iron. And then more of the crushed Certus dust. So let's grab like a stack of iron. That will be fine. And once we have a little bit of auto crafting, things will be a lot faster. So we're gonna need 3 patterns. Let's see, logic. Yeah, there's 3 different processors. So we make these, and then we can teach the system how to make logic processors. And this is a processing pattern. So it is a piece of gold. It's so weird. I don't like this version of applied logistics, or something about this applied logistics is just off. It's really hard to kind of use, but the logic processors is just gold, redstone, and a piece of silicon, which I apparently do not have any currently. So let's get a piece of silicon, and it is any of the crushed stuff. Okay, that's not too bad. Do we have any? We have a bunch of nether quartz. Let's go ahead and crush up a bunch of nether quartz and cook that up, and that will be the better way to do this. But yeah, basically making the processors is kind of the first step. Once we have all the processors, then we can pretty quickly ramp up, so long as we have more auto crafting. Now there is going to be things that are going to be awful, and we need to run wires over here and set up systems to do different things to get auto crafting, because of things like the fluix dust and whatnot. There's a lot of things that we need to work on. So kind of a process. We're gonna get there. It's gonna take some time, but we are gonna get there. So we do those 3, and then if I come down here, apparently I already had some of those. Extract. Why is it not? Insert. Whitelist all those. Why is it not doing anything? Oh, because this thing doesn't have power? Or did I tell this? No, this is not on extract. Okay, so we have the filter set up. It's been a little bit. Now this guy presumably isn't getting power, but there is the logic processor, and we can pop up here and tell the system, hey, this is how you make that. And then I can actually go ahead and make all the other ones just fine. So we'll worry about that later, because right now we just need the logic processors, and if it puts all the ingredients down here, then it gets everything. So we're gonna need to do this piece of redstone. Let's take these out, piece of gold, and I think what we can do is go ahead and tell this always active. And it should make me another logic processor that goes right back here. Perfect. So now I can make another ME interface. And with this, actually, can I make two? We're missing Fluix dust. Okay, that's not the worst thing ever. So we need, let's see, charged Sturgis quartz, redstone, and just grab 2 nether quartz. And there we go. We just need to grind this up now. And that will be fine. We'll make more silicon. And we just need 2 of them for now. So with that, we'll be able to make 2 ME interfaces, I do believe. Right? Yes, we can make 2 of them, which means we can hook up 1 to here. And I think what we'll do, we need to put this like so. This is where, I hope it doesn't interfere with that. This is going to move, so it's not that big of a deal. Let's go ahead and break this for now. And what we can do with the other one is put it here, and we can get more crafting recipes. So for now, this area is kind of a mess, but it will work. And what we can do is turn this off and put this on insert red. Cool. So now, theoretically, we can tell the system to make a logic processor, and if it has all the ingredients, it can make one without us going down and doing anything. So will that work? Should. It'll take a moment. Then the other thing we're going to do is we're going to set up the other 2. We'll set up the other 2 calculation and the engineering circuits. So let's see. Did it? I can't open that anymore. I could change that to a different type of. Does it? Oh, I bet I know what's wrong. It doesn't have room. So if we take those out, no, that's odd. Okay, does this have things in it? No. So I do believe something we can do, and this is kind of neat, if we put a chest in a crafting table and put sticks around it, we get a slightly larger chest. It's not, I don't think it's actually larger, but we can open it, which is super important. So, do we... Oh, I bet... Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think, we're gonna need more cables. I think this will be part of the solution, and it's gonna get messy as we go, trying to get all this stuff solved. So let's just forget about that. I think what it is the positioning of the cables. We can't just connect that. We need to connect it to this. Maybe, as well as just in general, there's problems with our cabling. It's not very good, and yeah, we'll worry about that later. So I'm gonna step away. I'm gonna try to get organized a little bit. I might try to get some cables and see if I can't troubleshoot this, problem solve this, however you want to say it. Might be good to just move this over a little bit and call it a day there. But I'm going to work on that, and then we'll come back in a moment once that's done, and we'll start working on getting a different type of power source. And we're going to be using gas. We're going to be using a gas burning generator because it's really, really powerful. We'll see how much we can kind of get automated with that today with what we have. So I'll be back once we have a little bit of stuff done. Alright, so the problem with our applied energistic system is, well, me. I was a dumb, and yeah, I did move things around. We have plenty of, like, cable channels, all that kind of stuff right now. But, yeah, I put the processor pattern in the wrong place. It needs to go in here. So, theoretically, now we can make a logic processor. It needs some of that and some of this, which apparently, right, I made more things. Okay. So now it should be able to make one. We need to bring more things out. Let's take the eggs out. And it should make one in just a moment. It's crafting it, and we should see it. And there it is. So, yeah, no problem. We have automatic processors for the logic processors. And I went ahead and got the stuff together so that we can make the calculation processor and the engineering processor, patterns at the very least, and we can put those in here as well. So we can make all of the processors pretty easily. Now let me clean up a little bit more inventory stuff. We need to upgrade our applied logistics system very, very soon, and it's just awful right now. But something else that is kind of awful right now is, well, I need iron to make the stuff we're going to be making, the gas burning generator. But, yeah, we can't just make iron with our redstone furnace with the augment because we can't install the augment yet. We need to upgrade the machine. I kind of forgot about that, and I forgot about that last episode when we made, or the episode we made this stuff in. So we need bronze and Invar. Let's see if we can't get that together real quick and make some stuff. You know what? We can turn that off. Yeah, let's just turn that off. Bronze, 2, 3, 4. Invar. How many Invar do we need? We need 4 as well. Okay, so the question is, how do we make a bronze gear? We need a stone gear. We can make this no problem. Okay, so there's the bronze gear. Make the hardened upgrade kit. And now this will allow us to put in the augment to make it a put the augment of flux anodizers in it, and now we should be able to get double the ore. We should come back and this should have 50 iron. It should double immediately. Perfect. That's what we want to see. And the reason we need to do that is because I need a bunch of steel. So in order to make the gas burning generator, we're going to need 2 steel casings, and that is 8 steel in total. And the way we've been making steel here as of late is just with pulverized coal and iron. So we're going to need to grab some coal as well, which we should have at least some. I think we have a full stack. Yeah, let's go ahead and pulverize this entire stack because we are going to need more of it later, but I don't think I have any already. So we'll just have to come back when we're ready with that. So other things that we're going to need in order to make this system, by the way, just kind of an aside, when I do move the sieve system down here, I'm going to make another crafter. I'm going to make a crafter level 1 because we need it for aluminum and cobalt ardite. I think is the only things we need. So osmium is the other thing that we're going to need to grab a little bit of. And with the gas burning generator, there's a couple things that we're going to kind of do. I want to enrich one of these. That would be nice. And this is iron, so we're going to put some iron in there. I think it's like 8 iron with the 1 compressed redstone. And that should make things really nice. We can put those in there and start getting the steel. Electrolytic Cores requires pulverized osmium, gold, and iron, plus a ton of these. So we're going to need probably more. Let's get like 3 more. That'll be half a stack worth. So if we take 8 out, we can put that in there. And then as we get those, we can process things through. So yeah, this is taking a lot of power. We are good on power for right now, but I want to ramp things up. One of the big things is this system is not fast enough. We're going to need to turn these into factories. Not a hard thing to do, but it's going to cost a lot more power. You know, there's just a lot of power issues that we're going to run into very quickly. Now, do we have much osmium? We have 3. We do have a piece of steel. We're going to need a little bit of gold as well. And cool. I think that's pretty much it for right now. So once this is done with the iron, what else are we going to need for the gas burning generator? We need some glass. Let's go ahead and put some osmium in here. Don't need much, but we're going to put some. Let's get a stack of glass. And that should be enough for the 2 steel casings. And indeed it is. So next we need more osmium, more of that. We can go ahead and throw those in there. And we need to break down what? Let's see. For this thing, we need 2 osmium, a gold, and an iron. So we're going to need 2 gold, 2 iron, and 4 osmium, because we're going to be making 2 of those. Now, here is the thing. We're going to run into an issue very, very shortly of we don't really have the resources nor the infrastructure. I had to think of that word for a second. We don't really have anything that we can use to get the stuff that we want in terms of we can generate power with the gas burning generator fairly easily, fairly quickly, or we can generate a lot of power with the gas burning generator, but it requires a lot more setup. We're going to go with the quick and easy way for now, and in the future we'll shift that over to the better way. It's just going to be a matter of getting all the stuff we need to do it the better way. So let's just get the gas burning generator for now, and in order to power this thing, we can use ethylene. Ethylene is the really nice thing. This is what makes a ton of power, and we get that as a byproduct from the PRC, or the pressurized reaction chamber, making substrate from biofuel. And it requires water and hydrogen to do this, and it requires power. The biofuel comes from the crusher, crushing anything organic, and they give different things. I think one of the best things is pumpkins. They give a lot of biofuel. Yeah, they give 6, whereas most everything else gives 2 or 4. But for the most part, whatever kind of farm you have, it's probably going to work pretty well. But that's really expensive. We need a lot more steel. We need another enrichment chamber, tons of basic control circuits, just a lot of stuff. And we don't really have that right now. However, the gas burning generator can also run off of the hydrogen. Hydrogen is really easy to make because it's just water separated out into hydrogen and oxygen. And then from there, we can just pump the hydrogen into the gas burning generator and make a little bit of power. So we're going to make an electrolytic separator. We're going to need one of these anyways to run the PRC to get the substrate later. So it doesn't matter one way or another. This stuff is stuff we're going to have to make at some point. So we're just going to go ahead and do it now. Now, in order to get this water, we're going to need an Aqueous Accumulator from thermal expansion. And it's 2 iron gears. It's a lot of iron. I don't think it's too difficult. Let's get the iron gears and see where we're at from there. Some glass, a bucket, redstone servo, that is easy enough. And, wrong thing, a device frame, which is tin, and a copper gear. So we just need some tin and copper. And that's it. Okay, so that is easy enough. We don't have anything that we can use over here. No. Okay, that's fine. So this is going to work for the time being. We need a little bit more copper. I think I have a block of copper. And I'm going to dump some of the stuff in here. Do we have 10? We do. Okay, so we should be able to make the device frame. And let's see, copper gear. We make the device frame. We can use our last 3 iron to make a bucket. And we can make the Aqueous Accumulator. Now, this machine, device rather, works pretty simply. So basically we place it down, and it will very slowly over time, typically, gather water. However, we can make it better if we put some source blocks of water around it. And honestly, what we could do is just something like this. Put a torch on it, make sure it's well lit. And this is going to be bad. So we put that there. Can I still fly? I can. Hopefully we can nope, we can no longer fly. Okay, that's okay. If I could fly up, nope. Alright, well, good thing I have blocks. So we're just gonna get over here. We just gotta get back up there and put the stuff back in, put the water back in, and it'll be fine. So I just didn't have enough power. So now I can fly again. I can come down here, I can grab that, and we can put that there. Doesn't really matter where it goes. Can break that. And break this little pillar. Cool. So this is full of water now, and what we can do is we can have an extract into the Electrolytic Separator, which if we put like so, is it getting the water? It is. And then this needs power, but what we can then do is we might need some gas lines. Oh, didn't grab all the cobble. So let's see, we're gonna need power. So I mean, for the time being, I could just go ahead and use this, or I could actually, you know, I have the cryostabilizers. That's just proof of concept. We're gonna put this down, and then the gas burning generator. However we can get, so it looks like input is green. So it's the way we face. I think what we can do, break this, place it like so. Replace that torch. And then no, green is other way. Okay. So let's just do that for a second. Wrong way. So like that. And it's connected. We can break these. And do that. And then we just got to give it a little bit of power. Nothing too much. And if we do, it'll start producing oxygen. We can dump the excess so that it will fill up with oxygen, but that it will eventually just burn it all. And this is burning the hydrogen, and is that enough to just self-power? I actually don't know. So this is using 160 RF per tick, and this is producing 160 RF per tick. So we have exactly enough. Now, if we keep this powered, and just break this for right now, this should start, yeah, it's producing more, and it will just produce more power. Now if I attach it, the burn rate is still only 2. I think if this fills up with more hydrogen, it will produce more. It has a max output of 320, so if it can produce more than it takes to put in, we'll be fine. But for the time being, I can let that run and get a bunch of hydrogen. Now, eventually, we will switch over to ethylene, which is much, much, much more powerful. It'll produce like thousands of RF per tick or something like that. It's really powerful, but we're not quite there yet. So, yeah, that is gonna be where we stop for today. These machines were a little expensive. The gas burning generator was definitely expensive with steel. And at this point, I need to get this set up and running automatically. I need to move things down and start getting power where we need it and go from there. So I'm going to promise that I will get at least a little bit of this stuff done and start filling up this stuff with like iron and all that. And then eventually we'll just run a cable over here, and also eventually our controller is going to be down here. So there's a lot of work to do, a lot of things I need to do off camera that's just kind of busy work cleaning things up. But I need to work on that this week, hopefully, and so that next episode we can actually start getting some of the stuff processed and stored away, and just in general having stuff being collected, getting resources, and allowing us to kind of work on other projects. We are going to probably switch over to the ethylene relatively soon, but there's a couple other things that we need to do first. And one of the big things is working with the applied logistics system and just kind of cleaning up the base. So that's the plan. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!